Haven't you heard? A queen is on the rise. Wear a mini hat so she can open up your eyes. Join the convo, the podcast is lit. Cop a penny to the spice up your fit, yeah. She's a producer, you can vibe to her beats. She do the most, but she ain't come to do the least. Whether it's the combo or the music you want, find it all here at TiTiTalks.com. Come and stimulate your mind with TiTi Talks. Promise you'll never fall behind when TiTi Talks. The knowledge you're seeking you can find when TiTiTalks.com. So come on and get with TiTi Talks, yeah.
Peace, family. It's your girl TiTi from TiTi Talks. Some of y'all call it Titty Talks. So glad to be back behind the mic again to bring you some more bomb content. As per usual, I've been in these streets traveling and working on this content. So happy that 2020 has arrived. Yes, I'm feeling good. The energy is good. I know people been kind of poking fun at the 2020 vision commentary that people have, but it's real. That's how it's feeling. That's how the energy's feeling. So, you know, I went live a couple weeks ago, and I just wanted to share some thoughts with y'all about 2020. So check it out.
What does 2020 look like for you? That's a great question. 2020 is exact vision. Vision. If you are not clear about your purpose and who you are, 2020 is going to eat your ass alive. I'm just telling you now. I'm telling you this is what Spirit and told me. They're going to eat you alive. If you are on purpose and you have vision and you know what you want to do and you're clear and you organize and you got your plan together, 2020 is going to be so good to you. 2020 is going to reward the people with vision. And it's going to mercilessly drag the people who do not have it. And that's all I got to say.
But I slid down to ATL on New Year's Eve to party at Cuckoo Room with my brother TiTi, the Wild African. Y'all remember him from episode 15. DJ E-Class was on the ones and the twos. We had a ball, had a good time. I then went to sleep for like 45 minutes, hopped on a plane, flew to New York to be in the place with my Bonfire Radio fam for TK in the AM's 1001st show. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that shit? 1001st show. That's crazy. This is TiTi Talks episode 27, right? 1001. That is so awesome to me. But I got a chance to chop it up with the fam, TK and Conscious, over a bowl of soup jumeau. And that was just an amazing time. We talked about top 2019 news stories, thoughts about the Kevin Hart special, the biggest glow-ups of the decade, affirmations going into 2020, and so much more. I'm going to play a few snippets for y'all because that's how good it was. I just want y'all to experience what was happening on TK in the AM on New Year's Day.
Summer Walker, the young lady that
Summer, don't touch me.
She said, you know, I'm out here doing these meet and greets, but I don't want these people to touch me. And because I have anxiety, and also because I don't want these people to touch me.
Yeah. No wonder she had to draw a hard line on that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
And she may just need some access to like some resources that can help her be able to manage the level of energy that's coming. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm a juju woman, so you know, if I'm in a space where I'm gonna be around a lot of people and a lot of energy, man, I'm all smoked up, prayed up. I got oils on, I got soaps to clean off with. When I get back to the house, I'm not bringing your shit back in my house.
Yes.
And so maybe she just needs them type of, you know, strategies and those type of things. Can I add one thing for 2019?
Add it.
2019 year of return Ghana.
Ooh.
Yes.
That was a big deal. They just did 126 African Americans just got their Ghanaian citizenship.
Right.
So yeah, that was a huge thing.
So what? You just show up and they just give you a citizenship?
It is not like that.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, what? They just let motherfuckers in?
Absolutely no.
TG, biggest glow up or by anyone, anything, any moment, decade.
I had two of them. The
us.
first one was Mike Tyson.
Yo.
The Mike Tyson glow up, man. He in the last decade, and he seems so at peace.
Yeah.
With his past, things of life that have humbled him, you know, and he just seems like he's in a really good place, man. He looks healthy. He's vegan, eating all plant-based. Still looks like he's doing good from a physical standpoint.
Right.
He's got big business going on with his marijuana business. He's doing he's getting into like marijuana tourism and taking people on tours and stuff, and it seems to be something he's really passionate about. And he just, I don't know, he's in a good place creating some dope content. You know, he's got his podcast.
Yeah.
He did his one-man show.
that was so good.
Which was phenomenal.
So fun to be there live to see that.
Yeah, I would have loved to have
taping,
to have seen that, but it was really phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm just really proud of Mike. You know, he's doing his thing. And, you know, shout out to Hemp. Hemp got to glow up
Hemp.
in the last decade.
Word up.
Everything.
Everything is all about CBD oil now.
CBD.
This shit don't even have CBD oil in it, but it's got CBD oil in it.
Mhm.
So they say.
I do a lot of things. I'm a physical therapist. I'm a massage therapist. I'm an educator. I'm a doula. I'm a photographer. I'm a music producer. I'm a writer. I do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes.
And one time people were just always telling me, because it's hard to tag me down, and you always doing the most. You always do the most. You always doing the most. And one time I was just like, God damn it, I didn't come here to do the least. Right? It's like I took it and I trademarked it. I didn't come here to do the least. So I didn't come here to do the least pins for all of you.
Shit.
I brought them for y'all.
That's some
so we
real
could take
shit.
that energy into 2020. My ancestors didn't send me here to do the least. My family didn't put everything they put into me for me to do the least.
Facts.
We're here to do the most.
Right.
Yeah.
2020, you didn't come
Yeah.
here to do the least.
Oh, yeah.
Woo. That's on my
Listen,
sweatshirt
every
too.
single day.
I didn't come here to do the
Facts.
least.
And
That's wild.
your face and on my listen, TT is
All day.
down to the socks.
All day, every day.
Woo.
So make sure you look up and subscribe to TK in the AM on bonfireradio.com. You can find them on Spreaker.com, all the streaming platforms. Next up, I will be in DC. I will be in the Atlanta area as well as Charleston, South Carolina. So stay tuned for bomb content coming from that. The upcoming TiTi Talks episode is an amazing interview I did in Kigali, Rwanda with my sister, Dominique Alonga. She is a co-host of Breaking Silence's podcast and creator of the Imagine We Rwanda publishing company. So, yeah, I don't want to miss that. I got some new TiTi Talk sweatshirts that will be available for pre-order in the next few weeks. You've been seeing me wear them on social media, and soon you will be able to have them as well. They are super fly, so stay tuned and grab you one or two. Also, make sure you subscribe to the TiTi Talks YouTube channel, hit the notifications bell, and enjoy the content. Please like, follow, subscribe, share if you are enjoying the content. We content creators need all of that, all right? You can meet me on the interwebs by going to TiTi Talks group and fan page on Facebook, at TiTi Talks on IG, that's MS TiTi Talks on Twitter, misstitalks@gmail.com for email. You can also shoot me a text on 850-509-1194. If you want to do business or talk about how I can host your event or be a guest on your show or do some beats and instrumentals for your content, etc., etc., I am super accessible, so just hit me up. Last but not least, you can also join TiTi Talks on patreon.com. Please consider being a patron. In order for me to ramp up this content, I will definitely need everyone's help. And I promise I got some fantastic, valuable things in store. All right? So here we are, episode 27. Y'all know I be all over the country and all over the world, but I love chopping it up with my Tallahassee fam for sure. Today's guest is my brother Jonathan Kelly. I was first introduced to this brother years ago as the MC Pyro Picasso, and he then evolved into Jay Kelly. Now he's doing his thing as an inspirational speaker, entrepreneur, and financial educator. We had a chance to chop it up about generational wealth and so much more. Y'all enjoy. It's your girl TiTi from TiTi Talks. I'm chilling at my house for once. And I had to rep the hometown real quick. I had to rep the 850 Tallahassee, Florida. Bring a beautiful brother in, doing just some fantastic things in the community, and I'm, between our schedules, it's like herding cats, but we were able to make it happen. So I just wanted to bring brother Jonathan Kelly on, yo. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you. I don't know if you know this story. This is how I found out about this brother. I used to work with his cousin. I used to work with Devin at the hospital because we're both physical therapists. And I was listening to my homeboy Honest English hip hop album.
Yeah, Honest, yep.
So me and Devin were going back and forth. And he was like, yo, your boy Honest is dope. He's like, hey, I got to show you my cousin. His name Pyro Picasso. And I was just like, okay, word, because I'm always interested in hearing what's going on. I love hip hop and everything. I do a little music production too. So I was like, okay, word. So he let me hear some of your stuff. And I was like, yo, he's dope, man. I like his energy. He's like, yeah, man, follow him on all the stuff. So that's how I ended up following you. And then I put 2 and 2 together because I used to see you at Verizon all the time.
Yep.
And so I've been following this brother for a couple years on social media, and he is just rolling out all kind of cool stuff. You know, he started off, I know, as an athlete here, playing ball for FAMU.
Yep.
Yes. Talk a little bit about that.
How was that? All right. Well, I played basketball at FAMU from 2002 to 2006. I was on the team that won the MEAC championship and played in the NCAA tournament.
That's what's up.
Which we were, I think, the only team in history to actually win a game in the tournament when we beat Lehigh, but that was 2004. And I played those 4 years, graduated in 2006, had a great time. Was on a full scholarship. So just the whole student athlete thing, that was me.
That's what's up. And listen, I be seeing them. I think you were hooping on a cruise ship or something.
Oh yeah,
you was lighting it up. It's like every time I turn around, I was like, dang, he was wet.
I post videos every now and then just to remind people.
Just to let them know. Don't forget.
Let them know.
I may be doing some other business stuff, but don't you ever forget.
But this is still where it started on the court.
I love it. I played, I didn't play in college, but I played high school ball too, and I've always loved basketball. And so that's just dope to me. I like ballers. Ballers life, man.
Yeah.
So, but then it evolved into like music. Like, did you always do music, or was it something you got into later?
So I started doing music really. I won't even say started doing, I just started writing. I was always a writer.
Got it.
So I started writing music in the 9th grade, and I can remember the 9th grade specifically because me and my friends would always have these battles at like lunchtime or whatever. Any break, like PE class, we'd sit outside and just either freestyle or be like, who can write the best verse? You know, and we would do that. And to me, that was interesting because I've always been creative with my ideas and words and wanting to come up with something different and clever way to put it. But that turned into, in 9th grade, I didn't have no studio. I didn't have a microphone, computer, nothing. When I got to college, so 2002, I met somebody who had a microphone, computer, all that stuff. And then I started recording with him. So we just started making music. And then me and my teammate at the time, we actually came together, formed our little group, our little duo, and we would just literally record wherever we could. I had really a cheap microphone. It was so basic and cheap. I mean, garbage microphone when I look back on it. Horrible.
Yeah.
So we had that cheap microphone. I don't even know if did we have headphones? Maybe not even headphones. It was just really like just to say we did something. But that's how we started. And then from there I got better equipment, better knowledge, and learned more, But I came from humble beginnings. When I was doing music, it was rough at first.
I love it, but I love the stuff you put out. So at the end of this show, you're gonna have to send me something hot.
Yeah.
And I'll play that, and I play it at the end of the show. I usually just drop artists on my podcast sometimes from all over the diaspora. So yeah, shoot me something. It's gonna be a surprise. Y'all figure it out at the end of the show. It's gonna be dope. I guarantee that, right? And then it kind of evolved. You kind of are you still doing music, or is that kind of?
So I don't do music anymore because I've really found that my calling and passion really is motivational speaking, financial literacy, and just overall teaching and developing. That's my real calling and passion. But music, I still like music.
Sure,
I just don't. I don't record songs. I don't go to the studio. I don't really focus on that part of it anymore. Like if somebody asked me to come feature on a song or something, I would probably do that just because I'm not trying to push my own stuff and get out there and make an album anymore. Because for one, I realized how much it takes to do just the time, energy, patience to really do that type of thing. I don't have the focus. And you really have to, to put out a good quality project. My last good quality real project I put out was Controlled Substance, and that was really, like, a lot of people loved it. It was really good, but that took all of about a year, and it's just like do I really want to do that again and again and again?
Yeah.
So I had to start being real with myself, looking at my age, mid-30s. I'm like, I'm not going to be a one of these rappers that's, these young rappers that come out and blow up and this and that. So I'm like, it's going to take time, and I don't want to take that time to focus on that when I can do the other things that really are more profitable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to be, particularly when your husband, your father, working, got multiple, business ventures going on, and you have to be really selective about where your energy and your focus is going. And so, I get that. That's what's up. But I'm really intrigued now because he's got this financial literacy education going on under his brand. And I know we've kind of briefly chatted a little bit about Forex and stock trading, and I've read a little bit about real estate. Talk about some of those things that you have going on, because those are important. Like that type of ownership, that type of knowledge, using other people's money to do what you need to do, collecting assets and kind of reducing them liabilities, like the basics. You're doing a quadrant, and it's just keeping everything just basic so that we can have some better financial understanding. So talk a little bit about what you do with that.
Yeah, so what I do really is I just break it down very simple, plain. When I talk to people, like so far, I'm focusing on trying to reach colleges, right? Yeah. So I've been to TCC, FAMU. I'm going back to TCC in 3 weeks to talk with them again. They actually spoke with the dean a few weeks ago. She wants me to speak with the athletes, so I'm meeting with the athletic director. She wants me to do a kind of like workshops with some classes that she's working with and some kind of group that she's working with. But then in the fall, so I guess right now for FAMU, I'm going to be doing something for homecoming. I'm going to be working with journalism and their students. So it's going to be a lot of things that I'm doing with school, but I really just show people that, okay, you can be young, black, and understand finances. You don't have to wait until you're 40, 50, 60 and retired to worry about money.
That's right.
Because my goal is to flip it and do the opposite. I want to be in my 30s not worrying about money.
There you go.
I want to be in my 40s not worrying about money.
Hello?
Not work 30, 40 years to retire and then say, I hope I got some retirement.
Yeah.
Because while you were working those years, you might have been saving, but you weren't investing. And people don't know the difference. So my job really, my calling is to just show people what I've done and what I'm doing daily, weekly, monthly to generate income and create wealth. Because really, wealth is when you don't have to answer to anybody. Wealth is when you have financial freedom. I was just telling my friend the other day, he's in Dallas. He's probably, 35? He might be 28, 29, and he actually quit his job as an engineer. He was making good money as an engineer, but he didn't have time. So if you're working 12, 14-hour days, but you're making good money, it's not benefiting you if you never get to enjoy it.
Right.
So what does he do? Become a real estate investor. Yeah. Bought 3 houses in 3 properties that he rents in Dallas. He's in Atlanta right now trying to buy 2 more. Then he is going to, and he's also a Forex trader as well. So he makes money from trading and real estate that pays for everything else. He's financially free. He says, my friends don't get it. They're like, how are you always traveling? He said, because you can do that when you have the freedom.
Absolutely.
So my goal is just to show people another way. It's nothing wrong with college. Nothing wrong with getting a degree. I tell people all the time, like for you got a degree in physical therapy. That's smart. That's a physical therapy. That's specific. Not just like me, for example, I got a degree in journalism. I don't use that. There's tons of people that have degrees in history. Journalism. Like, what are you doing with it? Nothing. If you don't do nothing with it, what'd you just do? You wasted a lot of time and money. Unless you're going for medical, some kind of like lawyer, or you go to engineering, or you doing something specifically for that field where you have to get a degree. Lots of people get degrees for nothing and then turn around like, man, I'm in debt. Oh, and I need a job. So I just want to show people another way. Like, there is another way than being in debt and going to school if you don't want to or don't have the money. You can learn these other things. It don't take anything to become a trader or a real estate investor, or even, a realtor. So
and I tell people all the time, like, if you have a young adult, 17, 18, 19, they're kind of at that age where the transition to college. If you see an ounce of hesitation, if they look like they dragging their feet on it, they look like they maybe don't want to do it, don't force them. Don't force it. There's nothing wrong with going to school at 25 if that's what you want to do.
Right. You can always go.
You can always go. You can always go. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to send a young person into college and they don't want to be there and they don't value it.
They're going
to bullshit around. They're not going to want to get up, go to the classes. They're not going to want to study, build the relationships with the professors and all of that. College is great, but it is also horrible if that ain't what you're destined to do.
And then you end up dropping out anyway. If that's really not what you want to be there for, you're going to be miserable.
You are.
So, yeah.
You are. And then you're going to be trying to chase the degree after that because you feel like you quote unquote failed because you didn't complete it. Sometimes if you didn't complete it, you need to let that shit die and go and do something else.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel like you have to complete that, So that's why I really appreciate it because not everybody can articulate it and not everybody can have the ear of people to where people want to listen to it. So, you gotta listen to this brother, you gotta follow this brother, and not just that, develop your own financial literacy curriculum. I listen to so many things. You probably do too. You probably read numerous books, articles, videos.
Listen to other experts and people in that field. You have to.
Exactly. That's the only way that you're gonna be able to do. You can't read 1 or 2 books, follow 1 or 2 people on social media and think that you're gonna be financially free.
Right.
That ain't gonna get it. That ain't gonna cut it. You're gonna have to really, really, really invest your energy, your time, and your talents in whatever it is that you want to do. Whether it's hip hop, whether it's athletics, whether it's entrepreneurship, building a business, building a brand. You're gonna have to risk it for the biscuit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate what you're bringing. I'm really excited about your brand though. Live to Create. It's y'all got to go on YouTube. Because you have a couple of shows, like you have an actual show.
Yeah,
right?
I have the Live to Create show, which is a YouTube channel for, I call it Educate, Motivate, and Create, where I talk to people similar to what you do.
Yeah.
And interesting people that are doing things throughout the world, community, wherever. And I love to interview them because it gives me a chance to kind of showcase what they're doing to the world and let people see another idea or another way that they might not have thought of before, depending on what it is that they do. And I also have Live to Create clothing, which is right now it's just shirts, t-shirts, but each shirt has a specific, powerful meaning and story behind it.
Nice.
So on the website, live2createclothing.com, like the shirts all mean something. Like one of them is purpose plus passion equals profit, right? One of them just says Live to Create. Another one says stay hungry, be humble. Another one says asset before liabilities. Just stuff like that I feel like it's a message.
Yeah.
It's a powerful message, and I want people to see it. I got another one that says athlete turned entrepreneur.
I love it.
That's how I feel like I want to be presented is, yes, I am a former athlete that played college, that played ball, but guess what? I found out that I wasn't just ball. I wasn't basketball. I was a entrepreneur. I was I found out that I was great at networking. I just didn't know it. I was great at talking to people, communicating, but you don't know these things when all you focus on is one thing.
I love it. And so talk about like some of your real estate. Like how did you even get into real estate? How did you even stumble into that?
So real estate was 100% my wife's fault. That was all her. And the reason why is before I met her, I didn't own a house. I didn't buy any real estate. I didn't know much about real estate. Now, when I met her, fast forward 2009, I meet her. She's a realtor. She owns her own real estate company. So she's a broker. And I'm learning just from seeing what she does. And then she's like, we need to buy property. I'm like, yeah, we do. At that point, I didn't own anything. First thing I bought, townhouse. When I bought the townhouse, we were living somewhere else. We were renting that out. So little did I know that was my first investment property. When they left, we sold our house, moved into that one. So I owned one house. We moved into it, had our son, got too small. left that place, moved into a fixer-upper. So bought my second house, fixer-upper in Cologne. Lived in that for 3 years while we rented out the other one. Fast forward. Oh, don't want to skip anything. Third house, bought that one right around the corner from my second house, but we didn't live in it. We just fixed it up and flipped it. So that was my first real flip. Okay. The next year, sold the second house I was living in that I lived in for 3 years. And because you live in it for 3 years, this is something a lot of people don't know. Once you stay in a primary residence for 2 years, you don't pay capital gains on it. So what I mean by that is, if you have a house that you bought for 100, you sell it for 200, you have equity of 100,000. If you live in it after more than 2 years, that's all your money. You don't pay taxes on it. Before 2 years, you got to pay taxes.
Right.
And they hit you over the head with taxes. So
Yeah.
anytime you live in a house, just stay in it for 2 years and call it your primary residence, because if you do sell it, you don't have to pay taxes. So,
Okay.
but that's another thing. So that's what we did. Sold it. Third house sold. From there, I bought another house, but that one was a bigger fixer upper. Took a lot longer than we thought, but we finally got into it, and that's where we're at now, in our fourth house, and it's a lot nicer and better than the other ones, and it's just a great spot. But that one's gonna have the most equity in it eventually once we sell it.
Right. That's what's up.
So that's how the real estate thing is.
I love it. And you don't jump in. You never jump into still water with 2 feet. You always build up. So that's why I'm always so interested in what this brother's saying, because the spot I'm in right now, I've been in here for probably 9 years now.
Okay.
And so I'm actually trying to.
You rent this one, or you own it?
I own it.
You own it. Okay, good.
So I'm trying to actually figure out what I want to do with it. I don't know if I want to Airbnb it. I don't know if I want to rent it.
Right there.
Airbnb?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
Talk to me.
So now we're talking Airbnb. First time we were talking about flips, buying homes, traditional rentals, but Airbnb is where it's at. And so the first place that I bought that I was telling you about, I wanted to sell it last year or the year before, but with that place, when I bought it for like 124, and now it's only worth like 75.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sell it and have it be a short sale.
Right.
So what do? We say, we could put it on Airbnb and try it out. So for the last year, we've had it on Airbnb. With a mortgage of $950, I'm able to pay that with no problem, because I'm making $3,000 to $4,000 a month just from Airbnb off one little 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, right? So I'm like, man, this is good. Me and my wife go to these little meetings or whatever, these real estate investor meetings, and people are like, how did y'all do the Airbnb thing? So my wife tells them. Next thing you know, 3 people are like, can you manage ours? So it turned in from us doing my own, just on Airbnb, doing it myself, to now they want us to manage. So it grew a lot faster than we thought.
Yeah, into something else.
It grew from one to one guy had 3, so that's 4. Then 1, 2, 3 more people, that's 6. So 7 properties we were managing, all within a span of about 2 or 3 months.
Whew.
And we get 20% of that.
Yeah.
So residual and passive income, I tell people, I don't care about the money, like as far as an amount. I just want multiple streams of income.
Yes.
So my goal is 7 streams of income. I don't care how I get them. I just need 7 different streams, and I want half of them to be, not even half of them, I want most of them to be passive and residual income on the right side of the cash flow quadrant, right?
Right.
So check this out. That grows from there. It's just word of mouth. From there, people tell people, somebody else finds out, post something on Facebook. Now we're at, by next month, September, we should be at 15 to 17 properties managing.
Love it.
So at the end of the day, it's gonna come a point where I'm like, we're just gonna do this full time.
Yeah.
Because if it's bringing in, let's say 10,000 or better a month, and we don't own not one of those properties,
Hello.
we don't have to own nothing. That's where the power is. It's just like any other big company, Uber, Airbnb,
Yeah, they
Amazon.
don't own any of the cars.
They don't. People don't realize they don't own none of that stuff. Look at Uber Eats. It's the smartest thing ever. They get regular people to hop in their car and pick up food for other people.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They get people to go get food from BJ's, bring it back to their car, drop it off somewhere else, and go do it again and again. They duplicate it across the country. That's amazing. But that's the power the internet and phones and apps can give us, and people not tapping into that, man. Like the more I think about it, it's just like, it's not hard.
No.
If somebody want to go make money, get creative, learn how to think, grind, solve a problem. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's really what we did, was we solved the problem of, we knew people who had properties. They did not want to manage it. We'll manage it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do it. Don't worry. Sit back and collect the check. I needed people with properties. We got the property. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, people out there have something that you need, and you have something they need.
Yeah. Yes. And this is why you need to listen. This is why you need to listen. You know, people always talking. They're talking about what they gonna do, what they finna do. Sometimes you just need to take a year or two and just shut up and just absorb information. Just like you said, you were at, you know, real estate classes, real estate development, you know, get-togethers and whatever. You just need to make sure that you are in the spaces where people are trying to make some things happen, and people are actively making things happen. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have the brother on the show, because I really like and admire the type of work that he's doing. Just trying to forge a new path, you know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, Tallahassee is the gem of the South. I don't care what anybody says. You know, there's so much really interesting things that are happening in Tallahassee, and very interesting people who are really doing a lot of wonderful things, business-wise, really doing their thing, grinding, doing their thing in the entertainment sphere, in the entrepreneurship sphere, in the even in social media and different types of digital media, and visual media and music. And so I'm just like, hey, I'm in full support. I'm excited. Where do you see like Live to Create, like how you see how that's going to evolve in the future?
So my goal is to honestly just be kind of like a, I'm trying to see if I can describe it. Really like just a public figure, entrepreneur, kind of like a bunch of people mix. If I had to combine people, I would say like a Jay-Z, because I'm loving the stuff that he's doing with the community, but also real estate, clothing, brands. Like he even has, you know, the Ace of Spades, all that stuff, just the different businesses that he's tapped into. I don't want to limit myself to anything. That's why I try to, you know, stay diverse in the real estate, the clothing, the multimedia stuff like Instagram, social media, and YouTube, because my goal ultimately is to get paid from YouTube, Instagram, real estate, clothing, all of these different things, you know, and then, you know, to just run, like to oversee everything and run it, and not be the one day to day having to punch the clock in, this and that, you know, because that we're all people who do that. We're all in a rat race, you know, and and eventually it's gonna end. What are you gonna do when it ends? When that money, when you stop clocking in and you can't make money, that's gonna be the problem. You know, it's already a problem, but people don't think that far ahead. I'm really trying to, like, I tell people I'm gonna retire before I'm 40. They're like, what do you mean you're gonna retire before you're 40? They don't get it, because in their mind, they're like, you can't retire until you're however old, 50, 60, something. And I'm like, no, that's just what you're told. You can retire whenever you're ready. You can not when they tell you to. Like, you know, so it's just a changing of the mindset, changing the mindset and this paradigm that we've had and we've been taught since we were kids. Go to school, get an education, get a job, work the rest of your life, retire, then, you know, vacation and do all this stuff. No, I think I'm gonna do it now while I'm nice and healthy. Instead of when I'm 60 and 70, I don't know what I'm gonna be. I don't know how long, you know, I'm gonna live. So why would I think that to worry about what I'm gonna do then? Do it now.
Do it now.
So just try to live in the present, you know, and be more present with myself, with my family, with everybody.
Absolutely. And how do you, like, your whole brand and your vision, like, what are you like trying to instill into like your children? Because you have two boys, two beautiful boys, and what do you like teaching them at their, because what are their ages? 7 and 4. So like, what are you like imparting to them at 7 and 4 of like, you know, what daddy does, you know what I mean? So what I do is I do little things with them, like I take them to the bank with me. I teach them about money, but on a small scale, like that they can understand. Like, for example, at 6, my son knew what assets were.
He knew what liabilities were. He knew what appreciation was, and he knew what depreciation was. It's lots of grown-ups that don't understand that, because they don't know the difference between an asset and a liability, or depreciation, appreciation. They don't know the difference. So I wanted to make sure he knew something like that. I take him to the bank, let him know how deposits work, withdrawals, where the money goes, all this stuff. Just things that parents don't teach kids because they think, oh, they're too young, they're too little.
Right.
You know, no, they're not. They understand when you tell them. Just got to break it down. But you know, let them know what it looks like to be an entrepreneur, to run businesses, to let them know you don't always have to think like an employee. Think like a boss. Think like the CEO. Yeah. You know, think about the overall idea that you're trying to portray, the message, the plan. You know, not just clocking in for somebody. You know, and it's nothing wrong with that, because I do that right now. But guess what? I have 5 other side hustles and businesses that I do, to basically where I tell people at work, I'm like, I literally keep this job so that I have benefits. Insurance. I have my 401k. Yeah. I have my health insurance, life insurance, all that stuff. So that, and I have a steady paycheck, but it's not making a difference, you know? Yeah. I keep that job to basically just so that my family's straight. I tell people all the time, Adrian, if I didn't have kids and a wife, I'd have been quit and do my own thing. Yeah. Because I don't need that as much as I would rather just push and just grind, you know, doing something else.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And that's
time is everything.
Listen, I was just telling somebody, I was like, my job is interfering with my work. You know what I mean?
I like that.
You know what I mean? And
it's two different things.
I love and I love being a physical therapist, and I do some stuff under my own business independently. But you know, I'm at the hospital, got me some insurance, you know, 401k, you know, all that stuff. And but you know, other things are evolving. You know, people hit me up all the time, you know, paying for beats. I'm in the process of writing a book right now, you know, and that's gonna, you know, create some things. You know, doing a lot of digital media stuff, producing a lot of content, and really just rolling some things out, doing some merchandise. Merchandise did real dope this year. And then sometimes I'll moonlight, I'll teach a course at FAMU or something, or you know, I'm a massage therapist too, so you know, people come in and get a massage, or I'll do a little.
You own it too, huh? Man, you got a lot of side hustles. You doing it?
Listen, I'm trying to be out here just to be able to move freely. Yeah. You know, and I tell people all the time, Black people have always been global people. We've always been mobile around this world. We've always been everywhere around this world, and so we kind of need to kind of change our mindset so that we can continue to be able to move, you know, how we want to. And we can't move how we want to unless we have some capital. Right. You got to have some capital. You got to have some assets. You got to have a way to take care of yourself and your family. And in order to do that, it's a skill. Right. You got to be skilled, you know. And if you want to be skilled, you got to study. You got to practice. You got to be humble enough to learn from somebody. You know, you can't be one of the people that think you know everything.
Everything, right?
You can't do that. You know, you gotta humble yourself. You ain't, you know. Sometimes you gotta be the chief, and sometimes you gotta be Indian. You gotta sit down somewhere. You know what I mean? So, I'm on board with what you're doing. I love to support what you know, Black folks and brothers is doing in the community. We get a lot of we get an earful, particularly from the sisters, about what these brothers ain't doing. They ain't. Okay, that's great. You know, you may have an axe to grind, whatever, but you got to balance it out. You got to talk about what brothers are doing out here. You know, and sisters too. Everybody is out here really just trying to make it, really just trying to do some things. And so I had this brother on the show that he can share his message. He's got he's growing his audience, he's growing his brand, he's doing his thing. And you know, TiTi got to stay talking. I love to run my mouth. So let everybody know, just run all your social content, all your social media, your website, your YouTube, everything.
Yeah, so once again, I'm Jonathan Kelly. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at live2create, which is LIVE_2 and the word create. That's Instagram and Twitter. YouTube, it is just the Live to Create show. I have a lot of really good informational videos, inspirational, just all types of videos like that. My clothing company is live2createclothing.com. Go on there, see, to see what I have. I'm going to be rolling out some new stuff in the fall/winter. let's see what else. I have working on my website, which is going to be jkellycreates.com. So hopefully have that finished up soon. I'm going to be taking some trips to Dallas, going to some trading things, meeting some people out there, and along with just networking and, you know, just really trying to, like you said, increase the following, push the brand, grow the audience, and things like that. So, you know, I'm just about being positive, changing people's mindsets and getting them thinking a different way other than what the norm is. You know, and just helping people. I was telling my sister today, I said, I just want to help people to the point where sometimes I have to realize, man, not everybody wants to be helped.
That's true.
I want to help them, but they have to want help.
That's right.
So I gotta, you know, and that's one of my biggest faults is I'm like, man, I want to help you do this. I want to help you learn this, but you don't really have the desire.
Yeah, and that's hard when you have that spirit, when you have that heart, when you have that giving spirit, because it's like you wanna, if you see things going great in your life and things that you've been able to kind of plan and put together work for you, you automatically want to see other people see things work for them too. And you know, that's kind of a hard pill to swallow when everybody isn't really on board.
Right.
But you know, the ones who are ready, they're gonna be ready, you know.
Yeah.
And you just gotta be okay with not reaching everybody.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that's tough, but you know, the good thing is a lot of times the positive and the good that you do is gonna far outweigh anything else. You know, so I just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I love it. I'm excited for you and your family. I can't wait to see you, you know, balling out in West Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Listen. I plan on taking a trip next year. I plan on making it to Africa. That's my goal. 2020. I'm going to Africa. So I already told my wife, I said, listen, we going to Africa. We got to go to Jamaica for our 10-year reunion because she's Jamaican and she wants to do our whole 10-year anniversary thing there. So I'm like, that's fine. I like Jamaica too. But we got to go to Africa.
Yeah,
we got to go.
Got to do it.
So yeah, we'll definitely be making that trip next year.
The motherland is suck you in, man. I'll be there next month. I'll be in Rwanda for a couple of weeks. I'm doing some content out there and doing some physical therapy work out there.
What's your favorite country in Africa? Where you like to go the
most?
Well,
I've been to Nigeria probably 5 or 6 times. I've been to Ghana, been to Uganda. I accidentally was in Rwanda for like 36 hours. That's a whole other story. So I've only been to 4 countries in Africa.
Okay.
I would probably have to say, you know, I really like Ghana a lot.
Okay, Ghana.
It's funny, I got on my Ghana stuff
I know,
today.
I saw that.
That just happened. But you know, Nigeria definitely has my heart. You know, culturally, you know, I'm learning one of the languages in Nigeria right now. So, I'm connected in a different way.
Okay.
Just kind of spiritually and culturally with particularly Southwest Nigeria.
Thanks so much for vibing with me on TiTi Talks. Thank you, Jonathan Kelly. Keep doing what you're doing. As I promised in the show, I said I'd play a song of Jonathan. So here's a tune from way back in his J. Kelly days, Grind Now, featuring Jocelyn Hart.
Get back to the grind. Yeah.
Back on the grind, hustle for every dime. This is for all the times they told me I wouldn't shine, but I made up my mind. Knew that I'd do it when times got hard. I still got through it. So optimistic, finish line in my vision, pushing it to the limit. My goal is being consistent. Never stop dreaming, never stop wishing. Always knew I'd make a difference if I got people to listen. Now I move with aggression, stopping me isn't happening. No one can match my confidence. Plus I'm way more passionate, working like savages. Hustle hard is the motto. We never promise tomorrow, so we ball and pop bottles. Celebration in life, celebrating success. Future brighter than ever, and I know that I'm blessed. Nobody said that it was easy and it wouldn't be a test. I put the work in now because I want to be the
So
best.
I'ma grind now to ball later. Grind now to ball later. Grind now to ball later. I'll be ballin', shot calling.
Every day is a struggle. Get it off the muscle. Life ain't fair, plus the world don't love you. Sacrificed it all for my future endeavors. What's the point of change if you ain't trying to get better? Think about it, how you ballin' before you get the dope. Talking about you Louis Vuitton from head to toe. I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. I don't ever waste time, cause I'm always on the grind. What's up?
I'll be ballin' out, not really worried about the cares of the world. Because I would've paid my dues a long time ago. I'll be riding round with my top down. I'm feeling so free. I got nothing worrying me. So I'ma grind now to ball later. Yeah. Grind now to ball later. Grinding now, grind now to ball later. Shot calling, oh. I got a mouth to feed, need a place to sleep. I got money waiting on me, and I can't afford to let it slip away. No, I got bills to pay, work hard to make a way. My success is dependent on me. So I'ma grind now to ball later.
Alright, look, what am I waiting for? The hustle you can't ignore. If you ain't about getting money, you might as well hit the door. Working for future status so I can live nice and lavish. Always keep God and family first, that's what really matters. I gotta pay the bills, plus my son gotta live. If you don't work, you don't eat, that's how we do it at my crib. Yeah, if I'm a ball, then I'ma do it for a purpose. When I get to where I'm going, it's gonna all be
so
worth
I'ma grind now to ball later. I'm grinding right now, oh. Grind now to ball later, and I'm gonna ball later, yeah. Grind now to ball later. I'm balling out. I'll be balling. Shot calling, yeah. You gotta hustle now, yeah. And it'll pay off later. Work hard now, so you can pull out later. Soon I'll be ballin', yeah. Future shot calling, yeah. I'm a boss in the making, yeah. Grind now, ball later.